myself. Okay, so we're going to record from this point forward, then I'll upload it into YouTube. And have you watched any YouTube videos by chance? Have you seen any of the stuff that I created? Did they help at all?
They did.
Okay, good.
They helped quite a bit.
Great. Okay. So this will be the same type of situation. So what we've got here, Carter, you were asking kind of to start over. So just, you know, we could kind of do a quick refresher. Is that?
That's correct.
Okay. So what we end up doing, just really getting back to the basics, then I'll answer questions. When you click here, top left-hand corner, your dashboard will show up down the left-hand side, like what you have displayed on your screen here. So this is what they call the dashboard. Across the top here, these are called shortcuts. All of your shortcuts can be found here in your dashboard, but obviously the shortcuts allows you to find them quicker. So that's why now, you know, yours, yeah, it should be basically about the same type of shortcuts that you have. Now to get to the different pages that you want to work on, if you want to go to the back end of the page that the computers, that browsers see, that Google see, that type of stuff, if you go to the word pages, then you can pick any page you want. Go ahead and pick one, and then I'll pick a different one. So you picked on?
Ballroom Dance.
Okay, so I'm going to click on About. And so when you click on that, so you know what this shows on my screen, it's very similar to your screen, is this is the back end of the website.
Oh, come on. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. So this is the back end of your website. And so what you normally would not use a lot of this because it's more like for adding keywords, like for search engines. So you might add like this might be Bali or Nigeria or Ethiopia, you know, might be one word for that page. And then here, if you wanted to do, you can add what's called the snippets. And as you know from working on Google and Bing and Yahoo, that these words show up in these are called snippets when someone does a search result. And so you can see here, this is the About page, and these are words that we've not added anything. So if we wanted to help Google and Bing and Yahoo know more information about so I'll just leave that, but you could add more things from here. Then what happens is Google and Bing and Yahoo, when you start to show up on search results, it will have what's called a snippet, and you're providing information so that Google and Bing and Yahoo know that Carter M. Phillips is not a dishwasher or a chef or a bus driver. His job, what he does, he's a professional photographer, a world traveler. So if people are looking for world travelers, Kingsport, or professional photographer worldwide, you know, these words are what Google, Bing, Yahoo, AOL, all of them save this information and index every single word. So you're on a different page as Ballroom Dance, but what you'd end up doing is doing this right here. Now again, this will be on YouTube, so we'll upload this for you. And this bar here will travel across as you go longer. And then eventually that's how much will show, and then you can kind of edit from there. But this is more for the back end, and that's pretty much all you really need to do on this back end, on the back side. So I'm going to go ahead and click Update, and so we've just updated this information, and for you, your update's right there. But now, if you go to after the page loads, now if you go to the Builder, this is the same list of pages. You see, and if you go Builder, it's the same list of pages. So why don't you either go to the Ballroom Dance or go to a different one, go to a different page, I'll go to a different page. So you're gonna go to About, or whichever one you pick, doesn't matter.
I was going to
why don't you go to Contact? Or, yeah, that's fine. Oh, you wanna stay on Ballroom Dance? That's fine.
No, I'll go to Contact. Okay.
So now what you'll see, so you're gonna go to Contact. I'm gonna go back to, I'm still on About. And so I'm gonna launch BeaverBuilder. And so now you're on what's called the front end, the front side of the web page. And so now you can start to edit and update. So I'm not on the Contact page, but I'm on, it looks basically it's going to be the same.
Right.
Is that these are as you highlight over the different areas, that they become highlighted, and then you can edit them. And as a refresher, it's the wrench that's up in the top left-hand corner that you would click on to edit. And you would either be editing a row, and that's what you're doing, or you would edit a module or a widget or a column that's in the row. So you can see right there on yours, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm on this page. Let me move this photo down. So let me shrink this down. Okay, so here I am watching my screen here for a minute. If you go to the plus sign, so if you go to the plus sign, then you can click row, and then move this down here. So then I can add a row, either 1 column, 2 columns, whichever number of columns that you want. So I'm going to add a 2-column row. So I've dragged and dropped it over. You see what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then I drop it in right here. And now I've got a 2-column row. Now what I can do is I can make this row. You can see this row is not full width. It doesn't go to full width. But if I click on this wrench, I'm going to edit the row. And then these settings come up. And then I go from fixed width to full width. And then just to kind of show you, I'll do a background. Let's do a color. Let's do color down here. And let's do like a, well, let's do a red so you can see the difference. And then we hit save. So you can see what I've done is I've created a row with 2 columns. I've made the row full width, but the content is only fixed width.
Okay.
And then what I do is I would go here, and now I would put in something like, let's do a photograph here. So I would drag and drop the photo in right there. Now this opens up, and I can go to the media library to select photo. And these are all the photos that you currently have on this website. So I can pick one of these. Or if I want to upload some from your thumb drive or your drive, you just go here and then you just find it wherever you have it on your computer. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
I'm going to go back to the media library and I'll just go ahead and I'll pick this one here. And I can see the size of it right here. That's a full-size screen. Oops. It was 19. Well, this is it here. So I'm going to hit just hit update. It showed me the size.
12 feet.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and I'll hit update. Let's see if it loads into that page. So here it is. Let me go back to the page. We were on about. It should show up here in a second. If I properly do, we can do that. So I totally messed that up. So this is here. It did not load. I guess I did not hit save. That's my guess. Oops. Delete and delete. So I got rid of that row. I'm going to do this again because whatever I did incorrectly. So plus row, 2 columns, drop it in here, make the column full width. I'm going to add a color to the background so we can see it better. I'll pick a slightly different color this time. I'll do yellow, brownish, whatever it is. Click save. So now I've saved the 1 row with 2 columns. I'm going to click the plus here. I'm going to go to module. These are all the different modules that you can put in or widgets. And there's lots more right here. So, puts in different effects. A map, a smart button, a search bar, a flip box, hover cards, there's dozens and dozens of different modules or widgets that you can drop in right here. I want to drop in a calendar right here.
Okay.
Save. So there's a calendar. And then I want to put in a different widget here. So I'll go back to, let's say, Power Pack. Let's just go to standard modules. And I'll get that photo back. That one photo was really large. That was one of the issues too. So let's put this one here. This is a large photo, 19 by 24. So it's large. But I'm going to go ahead and put it there. And that's fine the way it is. But I'll probably make it a little bit smaller because it's not taking up the full screen. I don't need something that large. So now it's smaller than on memory. It's going to load on the page.
It loads a lot faster.
Exactly. So that's there. And then I don't like this widget, so I'll just put in a different widget. So let's go to, again, there's dozens. You have to look through, figure out what these different ones are. But let's just put in a table as an example. Well, these are kind of boring widgets, but and then put a table in.
Right.
So, and again, because this is an ugly looking row, I can just remove the whole row right here. Or what I could do is add, you know, some different. And now I've got 3 columns, and then add more widgets onto there, so you can build a page that way. But I'm going to go ahead and delete the whole thing because we're not going to keep that.
Right.
Okay, and it's gone. So I don't know if it was that. That was a quick refresher just on that one part. I'm going to hit done, and like this photo here, I can see. Let me go back here. This photo doesn't. It's got a little padding or margin around it. So what I can do. It's slightly advanced, but it's no big deal. It's not complicated, but I can see here that it's got it's got 20 on the right, 20 on the left pixels. So let's knock this down to 0 and then 0, and so now it's become bigger there, and bottom is 0.
Now what we're doing is the margin.
Removing the margins or padding. Margins and paddings are slightly different.
Okay.
And so what it is, it's either how much is on the outside or how much is on the inside of the different modules or widgets. So let me show you here then. I'm going to go row setting, style. I would have done that slightly different. Let me see if I can get it this way. Okay, because I haven't done this recently. I stretched it out, but not all the way. But I would play with this a little bit more. And I think the reason why, let me take this. Okay, so what I did is I took it out of this one here and I put it in its own. So let me just make this larger. And then again, get back to the full width, and then content full width, and then hit OK. Go here. And it's over here. Well, Carter, I've made a fool of myself here because I've got it larger, but not all the way to the side. But I would have to play with a little bit more to remember how to do that.
Right, but it's big. It's a big difference.
It's larger. It fits a little bit better. And then I just deleted those other row of columns. Do you remember how to add galleries, photo galleries? Here it is, padding margin. So let me do this: 0, 0, 0, 0.
Okay, that was, it's like once you find
it went to the side. As soon as I found what I did to click out of it, hit save, and then go back to where it was. And so now you can see it's full width. It takes up the full screen. There's no padding or margin around it. Whereas this one here, you can see it still has the padding or margin around the sides. And same with these here. So if you wanted to, obviously this is your about page. So, right now we just have this one photo. And then you scroll down here, and then if you wanted to change this, you just click on it. And then your words under general. And then you would change whatever you wanted for the words to be, and then you hit save. And then down here, I think same type of thing. You just click on the wrench, and then your media library opens up. Did you know that already? You've done that.
I've done that once you told me about it.
Okay. So, and then here, it's just a matter of the same thing with the words. Click here, and then your words show up.
I thought I had those words changed at one time.
On the about page?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm going to hit done and hit publish.
How many albums would you?
I think what I would do if I were you is I would create this page here, and it's called photo albums. But then what I would do is like what you're doing here. You could have, I would add another row. So let me click here. So I want to edit this page. So I click builder again. Now the builder opens up.
Right.
And so what I would do, if I, as a suggestion, I would click here, and then I would add another 3 rows.
Okay. You make it look simple.
I would drop it right here. And then I would make this, actually what I could have done was just duplicated this. That's what I should have done. That would have been a smarter thing to do. That was dumb what I did.
You duplicate it and then just go back and change it.
And then just change it, yeah, and then just duplicate it again, and then change your links and your photos.
Now, how
and
do
then,
you duplicate it?
It's up here, one of these wrenches. So I duplicated the
Okay,
row,
right there it is.
but if you hit the wrong duplication, if you click here,
Right,
then you would end up duplicating this.
right,
So then you just delete that, say, I hit the wrong button.
right.
And now you're back to
So you
here.
got, yeah, I see where you have to hit the top.
Yep.
The whole,
And then what you might want to do, again, it's up to you. Right now, you're creating a separate row. What you could have, and then if you did a background, like the background's all white. And then you could make this background yellow. You can make this background brown.
right.
But if what you had the option to do, there's not a right or a wrong way. What you could have done was done a row and then 3 columns and stayed. Let's see, I probably did not do that right. Let me move this. I already got this in row, so let me get rid of this. It's 3 columns. So, and I don't know if you can see what I did. This is the way I'll show you is it stayed in the same row. Let me show you the background. This will make sense when you see the background.
Right, okay. Yeah.
So you can see there's another 3 columns here where this is a row and this is a row. But I could keep adding these columns and the same background because it'd all be in the same row, if that makes sense. So this is now 3 columns, but it's not a separate row. The row is controlled by one here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And which is the easiest way?
There's not, it's up to you what you want to do with it. It's just a matter of like, here's an example. This, if you wanted to make different backgrounds, you would need a different row.
Okay.
But if you wanted to just add 3 columns, you would drop them right here. Now you can't make the background different because it's in the same row. Okay,
I
so
understand it. But you can add more columns to a row.
you could add more row columns to a row. That's correct. I'm just going to delete this because you're not going to use these, and maybe you will, maybe you won't. And then I'm hit done. And hit publish.
What I like,
And then probably, I don't know that you need, because you don't want to go more than 6, 7, 8, and then it gets way too long
on your photo.
and it doesn't show up on a phone for a drop-down menu.
Okay.
You've got 5. Like if you looked at that on your phone, that's probably enough.
So if I was going to change something,
I would just not have any. I would just let them click photo albums. Then they'd go to this page.
so you would do away with it.
I mean, because you've been to so many places. I don't know how unless you're going to do continents. Then I mean that would be one way to do it. But if you just click photo album, and maybe you don't want this on your photo album because this is such a large photo. Let me go builder, and this is going to open up here in a second. And though this is a slideshow, but what you might want to do, I'm just going to move this out of the way to show you kind of what I'm talking about, because it would help your viewers. So whether or not you keep the slideshow, that's up to you. It's a beautiful photo, beautiful slideshow, but that's when your viewers go to your page, they go to photo albums, they don't want to then look at one slideshow. They want to see your photo albums.
Right.
What do you have? So you probably on this page would not have the slideshow at the top, So now it's down lower, just get rid of it. But now people can quickly see whatever they want to go. Oh man, this guy's been all over the place.
More like Instagram.
Yeah, probably so. Yes, exactly. So
Not Instagram. Yeah, Instagram.
I knew what you meant. One of the other websites that they load up that way, so you can see albums and then decide between the albums.
Right, you can see
Yep.
instead of a slideshow.
Yep. And the slideshow you could have on this page. It's amazing.
But you would have it lower down.
Lower down or not at all. And then now when they go to Africa and they go to I didn't go to the page. When they clicked on the Africa link and the page opens up for Africa, then you might have the slideshow
Would
on
you
the
do
top.
a slideshow or just thumbnails?
It's up to you. And you may want to stay consistent with what you're doing.
Okay.
So, and you have so many different options because, as an example, when you click plus, I mentioned there's different widgets and modules. This is a different software. This is different software. this is WordPress software, and then this is different software. So they give similar but different choices. And the reason I'm saying this to you is because here you're in standard modules. And standard modules, if you look, they have like, here's slideshow. So I could drag and drop it in. So let's do that just for the heck of it. And then you already know how to set up a slideshow. But I'm just going to leave that there just for now. Then I go back to here and see they may have something slightly different. No, they don't necessarily. But if you go, well, actually what they have is like, do you know the difference between a post and a page? Did I explain that to you?
Yeah, but
Okay. If a page, as you know, is a page, you understand what that is. A post is like a blog post. And so like you could create a page, you could create a page called Africa, but then you could create a post that would be lions, tigers, bears, and they'd all appear on the page that's called Africa, but the post would be lions, tigers, bears, and then you can click on that. It could either be one photo or many different ones. So the reason why I'm saying this to you is if you started to create posts, which you're not doing right now, you could organize posts lots of different ways. So it might be like lions, and every time you had a photograph that has lions, you would add the word lion to it. Then you could do a search and all of your lion photos would show up. Now, you're doing it manually is what it kind of seems like. So let's just go back to the example I was showing you here. Here's standard modules. Here's a different, I pay for this. It's a different software. It's called PowerPack. Now let's see what they have for displaying images. So here's their creative one. So let's just see, I'm sure they're going to have something. I just don't know what this particular one has. Let's just take a look down. Here's a 3D slider. Okay, now that's different. So I'm going to drop it in here just to show you as an example. And then let's add some photos. Add the gallery. And then hit update gallery. And you can change different things here. You can, change how quickly, but I'll show you what the 3D gallery is. Hit done. Publish. You can already see the way that that's looking. So this is a 3D gallery, and it's set to autoplay. But you can have it set to autoplay every 5 seconds or not autoplay. People have to scroll through.
Right.
Now I'm going to go back to Builder. I'm going to open up this page because I clicked on the word Builder. And now I'm going to show you this one here was the slideshow. We never added one. But I'm going to click here and go to plus. And then I'm going to go to, it says WordPress widgets. And WordPress probably has some type of, I don't see one that necessarily looks so good here, so I'm not going to use that. Let me go back to here, UAB. Okay, so this is slightly different. Now we're going to see his photo gallery. So let's drop this in here. And then this photo gallery opens up. Let's add photos.
You said different themes.
And it loads or looks slightly different. Like this one here may just be, straight that way. Or you could have a masonry where they load up slightly different. Or you did the slideshow. Or you could just have one image and it rotates. So there's lots of different ways to present your photos and photo galleries. Now, and like you said, thumbnail or as a gallery, it's really up to you on how you want to do that. On each page, but I don't know if that helps or if that confuses stuff.
I've been thinking about changing it from a slideshow to thumbnails.
Okay, and when you say thumbnails, that's I understand the term thumbnails. What they call more of a gallery.
A gallery.
Because the thumbnails will be quite small.
Okay, change it to a gallery.
To a gallery, yeah, and so, or a lightbox type of situation. And the lightbox you're familiar with because you're using Adobe products.
Right.
So let's just again look here. Let's just see something. Image carousel. Well, let's just take a look here. Here's an image carousel.
something like that, and then you could click on the images.
Yep, and they would call this a gallery type thing, and this is
But you'd need to set up different galleries for different locations.
each gallery would be different. That is correct, and you'd be able to do like photo size, thumbnail size, medium, or full size.
Okay.
Probably medium would be the appropriate one, and then the scroll effect, how you want that to work, and then how many images you want to scroll down. I'm setting this up slightly different. I'm doing a carousel. You see the word carousel? Right. So it's going to show up slightly different. And hit done. I probably didn't add enough photos. I'm going to add a few more just so you get the effect. Up to 7. It's almost done loading. So this one here, I believe what we set up was, this is just where you can see these, if you click on it, you think it opens up. Yeah, it opens up as a light box. So that's a slightly different row. This one here, I thought it would start to rotate, but I guess I did not have it set to automatically rotate. But this is a carousel that is slightly different. This one here is your 3D gallery. So you can see it rotates on a 3D level. This one here is just your modules and widgets. So, but the reason I was showing you that is because there are probably underneath these different buttons, you probably have about 10 or 12 ways to at least to display your photos differently, depending on what you want to display on that particular page.
After looking at other websites, I'm thinking when you bring up, let's just say, this is just, okay, when you bring up Africa, maybe you need to have, instead of having to scroll through them.
Yes, I
have
categories of some sort.
Or have just a whole page of medium size that you can click on.
Yep.
I think that way you don't have to scroll through. You can have more photos.
I agree with you. And it'll be easier for the viewer to find what they're looking for and then look at them.
Right.
So
because I've got quite a bit of stuff right now that is being used to promote.
Being used what?
To promote the travel company that we went to Ethiopia with.
Okay.
He's using them in Instagram, and Twitter, and Facebook, and to promote his. And I said, well, I'll let you use them. The only thing you have to do is give me recognition.
That's nice, and they're great photos. You'd have to pay a lot of money to get those type of photos. Let's see, there's a quick
and it gives me some more exposure.
Yeah, it sure does. Sure does. Here's gallery. So I'm going to drop this in right here because this is what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think so.
And what you can do is, so that you can do collage or thumbnails. That's kind of what you were talking about. And then it opens up as a light box.
And you can separate them into different. I get what you say. Change the.
This is more what you're talking about.
Yes.
So that way, and so that's just called the gallery. And now what you might want to do is make this row full width. Make the content full width. And then maybe make these photos, instead of thumbnails, you can make them, this is the collage effect.
Let's see what
it just stacks them differently, like depending on the base of the size of how they look, the orientation, you know.
Right.
It's not ugly. It's just not a grid.
I don't know which one is.
This is kind of nice, I think, because your photos are so different. I think, you know, if you had them like, yeah, I think this would be okay to look. And this is just called a gallery. And again, just to show you, I went plus. And then galleries right here. This is standard modules. You see right here, it says standard modules.
Right.
And then gallery, and I just dropped it in right here into its own row.
Now we're recording
this, and I'll upload this to YouTube.
Everything you're doing is being.
Yep.
What's the word?
It's being recorded.
You're right. That's what I thought.
Yeah, yeah.
So my thought is, and I think you had a good point, is to do away with.
I would get rid of those. So if we go back to menus on your screen, and you have to hit done. You want to get out of this page, then you can either publish or discard. Doesn't matter. Probably discard. Hello? Oh, that's a spam calls. Can I help you?
Hello. Yeah, hi sir. This is Peter Kaminsky calling you from House and Streets of America. How are you?
From where?
Sir, I'm calling you from the House and Streets of America.
So what we were talking about, your menu. So you want to go to your menus and under appearance. So you got your shortcuts here. So if you go to Carter Phillip and
Right.
menus, and
The
then
appearance.
well, you're already there. Your menu's open up
Okay.
because you get to the same place different ways.
Okay.
So now your menu should open up. You at your dashboard. So yeah, go to appearance. I guess we might get to where we want to get to. So appearance, then menus. Yep, there you go. And then these here, you just remove them. So you would do the drop down menu and then remove. Remove. And then hit save menu and you're done.
And when you go back,
You can go back to your Carter Phillips in top left-hand corner.
I've got it right here.
Okay.
I've got it on.
Does it save tab or whatever?
No, I've got Safari and Google.
Okay.
I got this one on Safari, so
Okay.
I can flip back and forth.
Cool.
Now, when you click,
Really, you need to refresh your browser because this is, I know you got rid of it, it's just the same thing happened before. There you go.
okay,
That's cleaner, right?
so now it takes you right to. So then I'll have to go in and build the different albums.
You would end up going back and then you get to this screen here and then you click on the word builder. And I've got control of this right now, I think, because I'm on this. I'm on the photo album page, I guess. And then you'd get to your different areas and you just click the reg and you'd end up being able to edit it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I'm going to hit done and get out of this. And so now you can have control if you need it. So
Okay, I've got you. So, and then I can just move whichever I want to come up first.
yep, and I'm not logged in, but yes, you would just drag and drop it wherever you wanted to drag and drop it. If you make a mistake, just delete it and start over. So I'm going to hit build. I'm going to open it up again so I can do that. Page is loading. And then what I can do here is see where this crosshairs. So I can move this down. Let's put it right there. Now that's right here. Now this one's at the top. If I want to delete it, I can delete it. Or you can click the wrench and add it.
Okay.
And then here, this guy switched around, so I'll just drag this one above this one. It's right
Yeah,
here.
they're sort of mixed up right now.
Yeah, that's very mixed up. I mean, you'll have to go through and clean up this page.
Yeah, I'll have to go through and
This is your 3D, thing, and this is not full width. So if I went here to full width, fixed, full width.
I don't think you want.
This is a different type of effect, like for weddings. Maybe for your Africa trip, maybe you don't need that. So
I don't think you want to have both.
no, you only want one. Yeah, you don't want to be confused. Right. First off, you only want one moving object on a page, so you will not have multiple things moving. Second of all, with your things, you don't necessarily need them moving. I think your photos are pretty captivating and people can click on it if they want to.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking in this aspect, you might want to.
I'll just delete this whole row.
That makes it easier.
Yeah. How about another question? Something else you want to learn right now?
Well, this has got us about once I go back and I can rearrange this and change this, then
And again, what
That's a big
just as a
start.
quick refresher, and it's getting towards the end of the video here, but I'm gonna hit done. Let's just go back to publish. And then just go back to the very basic, and I probably should have started this over. So if you go to new and then page, I know Ethiopia is part of Africa, but that's how that?
Yeah.
So hit enter. Page is now being created. And so now you go to BeaverBuilder.
right.
Got a blank page right here. And now what you could do if you wanted to, you know, you've got templates here. Well, what you could do, you could just start doing row by row,
Right.
okay? But you also have templates. And so one of the templates you have here, let me go to content pages. I think you have one that's for photographs, for photographers. Let's see what's here. One second, here. Yeah, this one here. And this is an, so I just clicked on this, the whole template opens up. And you again said you don't want to do, you know, you want to be doing more grids, but this is a slideshow that opens up. And then you click here, and then you can edit your slideshows. Smart media library.
Now you can just drag and drop the photos in there.
Yep, or you just click them and then they're there. So,
Right.
so this created that slideshow. And then if I went plus, and then I want to create a row, let's do one row here. And then modules, and then gallery. Drop the gallery. And I'm going to put the gallery above this. I should have put the row up here too, but it'll create a new row. So here's the collage, media library, add photos. Update. These are medium size. These larger size. Just take a minute to load.
Right.
It's loading. And then here, and I would make this full width. There's your larger photos finally loaded. Full width. Get the content full width. So,
I think you're right on using the collage since they're different. They're not all the
Yep.
same.
Yep. And now this, the largest, to me, the largest too large. So this is like the medium size, and this looks nice, you know. This is the collage effect.
Yeah, that works good.
And it's well, this is actually set up for large, photo size large. Let's see what the medium looks like. Didn't change it much.
No, not much. Medium might be better. That
Yeah, I
way
think medium might be too.
you see more.
Yes, and then people, when they click on it, then I believe the light box opens up. And then they can scroll through the light box.
Okay, that's I like that. Yeah,
It's right here.
I like that a lot better. All right,
And then just exit and then back here.
that's going to be enough to keep me busy for a little while.
Okay, I'm going to put stop share and then we'll stop the recording here. Let's see, pause recording.